And this one is a competitive game where players are each going to be playing as unique factions, competing to be the next heir to the throne. Each player is going to have their own faction board with their different units, unique abilities, and a unique deck of action cards. There's also going to be some tactic abilities that each player is going to be starting with, and these can be modified throughout the game. But the way this game works is that there is going to be a main board made up of 6 different locations, with each row representing a different region with the 2 locations as part of that region. Players will each be drawing a hand of faction cards from their deck, and then they're going to be taking turns placing their leader tokens out on the board. The whole goal here is to put your leader on one of the locations that has an ability that you want to use, and then you're going to be using your strength in order to try and win that region. The way that players add strength to the different regions is by optionally adding any of their additional tokens that they have on their board, and by placing their cards in one of each of the regions. Players are going to be doing this in secret and then simultaneously revealing once all the players have placed their cards. Each of the regions are going to be resolved with players adding up their own individual strengths, adding any additional strength for matching different icons, or even from the card's abilities, or even if they do want to use some of those tactics tokens from their own player boards. A really cool mechanism about using those smaller tokens or your tactics abilities is that you're not going to be able to use them again until you pay a cost to get them back, and the cost is in the form of cards, which is going to reduce the amount of options you have on your turn. But for each player that wins one of the regions, they're going to be able to choose one of the location's abilities there. And if they choose the ability where they put their leader token, they're also going to be adding influence at that location, which is the way that you're going to be trying to win the game. But there is one more place where players can put their cards, and that's in this bottom row here. And the way that this works is exactly the same as the other regions, but instead of winning a location ability, you're going to be gaining one of these ability cards, and these can grant you all sorts of special effects. But each player that puts a card there is going to be able to get one, but whoever has the highest strength is going to have first dibs on any of those cards. I'm going to go ahead and say this one's my pick of the week. I think it has a lot of really interesting mechanisms going for it, and I really do think that the hand management is the coolest aspect of this game, and I think it does it really, really well, because another cool mechanism in this game is that anytime that you completely run out of your faction cards and you have to reshuffle your deck, your new hand size is going to be one less than it was before. This means that the cards that you have available to you are going to be less and less every single turn. And when you combine that with the fact that spending your tokens out on the board costs you cards to get them back, as well as your tactics tokens, this is going to create a really crunchy decision process where you're going to have to decide what you want to do to optimize the amount of influence that you can get. I really love tough decisions like this, and I think this game is going to be offering a lot of them. So if this does look like one that you're interested in as well, you can check it out, and I'll have links to the campaign in the description below.